Hi Panthers, we are taking a look at the area of circles, and by the time we are done with the lesson you will hopefully not only know the formula to find the area of a circle, but also be able to use it to actually find the area of different circles. So please make sure you have a calculator ready. It'll make this go by pretty quickly. And let's take a look at what we're doing today. So again, once again, we are looking at geometric formulas to find areas of different shapes. All you gotta do is take the information you know, plug it in to solve the information that you do not know. So right off the start here, we have our formula for the area of a circle. Now remember, circles have some unique characteristics. And so once again, we are using pi. Okay, the area of a circle is pi r squared, and remember that for pi, for the most part, we're going to be using 3.14 just to be consistent, and r, if you remember, stands for radius. Now when we looked at the circumference of circles the other day, we found that sometimes the measurements of the radius is given to you, and sometimes the measurement of diameter is given to you. So we just want to quickly note that 2 times the radius will give you the diameter, or if you take the diameter and cut it in half, that'll give you the radius. Please keep those in mind as we go forward. So looking at example 1, we are going to take our formula and apply it to these different circles. Letter A, keep in mind we are given the radius in this case. Okay, r is 5 inches. So let's remember our formula for area of a circle is pi a equals pi times r squared. Remember, r squared means r multiplied 2 times. And if we plug in everything we know, again we're going to use 3.14 for pi as stated in our directions. The radius of this particular circle is 5, so I'm going to write 5 squared. And again, just so you understand, that's the same as 3.14 times 5 times 5. And when you plug it into your calculators, you get 78.5. And again, because we're talking about area, our units are squared. So square inches, 78.5 square inches. Take a look at letter B. Again, our formula is A equals pi r squared. Pi, we are using 3.14. R for letter B is given to us. It is 7, so we're going to do 7 squared. Panthers, grab your calculators, plug that in, and we get 153 and 86 square centimeters. Now looking at the directions, it says to find the area of each circle to the nearest tenth. So let's round this. 153. The 8 is in our tenths place value, so the 6 tells us to go up to 9. There we go. Again, making sure we are paying very close attention to the directions. Move this up a little bit. Taking a look at letter C. Now C is a little bit different in the fact that this time our diameter is given to us. Remember that the radius can be found by taking the diameter and dividing it by 2. So our diameter here is really going to be 9. So our formula, A equals pi r squared. Pi is 3.14. The radius of our circle is 9, so we type in 9 squared. Go ahead and grab your calculators. 3.14 times 9 squared, or 81, gives you 254 and 34 hundredths, but we're rounding to the nearest tenth, so the 3 is going to stay the same, and our units are square feet, square feet. Okay. Looking at D, once again, the diameter is given to us, so half of the diameter would be 13, which is the radius. So our formula, A equals pi r squared. Pi is 3.14 multiplied by our radius, which is 13 squared. Okay. Go ahead and multiply that out. You should get 530 and 66 hundredths, but that 6 is going to round up to a 7, and we're going to do square meters. Square meters. Okay, Panthers, we are moving right along to example 2 here. For example 2, we have a story problem. Okay. It reads, park employees are fitting a top over a circular drain in the park. If the radius of the drain is 14 inches, what is the area of the top that will cover the drain? This time we are using 22/7 for pi. So let's pull out this information. First of all, we have our shape, so we know we're dealing with a circle. We're trying to find what is the area. So let's pull up our formula. We're trying to find the area of a circle. Pi r squared. Now we look into it. This time for pi, we're using 22/7, as you can read in the story problem. And if you look back through the problem, does it tell us the radius? Yes, the radius is 14 inches. So we'll do 14 squared. Okay. Grab your calculators. Go ahead and multiply this out. Couple things you could do, order of operations. You could do 22 divided by 7 times 14 times 14, or plug it in however you like. And when you do that, you get 616. And our units are inches. So because we're solving area, it's square inches. Very good. And our last problem, Panthers. Looking at example 2. This time you're using a centimeter ruler to measure the radius of the circle. Then find the area of the shaded region of the circle, and again we're using 3.14 for pi. So you do need to have a ruler. If you could go ahead and pause the video right now and grab a ruler, let's go ahead and do that. Okay, so welcome back with your rulers. If we take a look at circle A, I want you to measure from one end to the other end of your circle. So starting here, measure to the other end, making sure you go through the midpoint is extremely important. So Panthers, when you do this, we find that the diameter, which is easier to measure than the radius, so we get 6 centimeters. And therefore we know the radius is half of that, which would be 3 centimeters. So let's use this information and plug it into, again, our formula to find the area of a circle. For pi, we are using 3.14. Our radius is 3, so 3 squared is 9. And when we multiply this out, we get 14 and 13. That doesn't make sense here. Okay, we get 14 and 13 hundredths square centimeters. Okay, so that's the area of the entire circle. We only want to know the shaded region. So it looks that half of the circle is shaded in. Oh, I apologize, Panthers, go back here. 3.14 times 3 squared gives you 28 and 26 hundredths square centimeters, okay? I apologize, go back and fix that. I'm getting ahead of myself here. Now we only want to know the area of half of the circle, so if I take this and divide it by 2, half of the area then would be 14 and 13 hundredths square centimeters. And the last one, Panthers, grab your rulers, measure from one point to the midpoint, okay? In this case, you should be getting 4 centimeters. Now, it doesn't matter really if you go from here to here or here to here. A perfect circle won't matter. So we have our formula, A equals pi times r squared. Pi, we have 3.14. Our radius is 4, so 4 squared. We end up getting 50 and 24 hundredths square centimeters. Okay, but I only want to know, this is 1/4 of my circle, so I only want to know 1/4 of this. So take your 50 and 24 hundredths and divide it by 4. In Panthers, the shaded region represents 12 and 56 hundredths square centimeters. And we are done. Panthers, have a great day. Again, the formula for finding the area of circles is pi r squared. See ya.